Hey everyone, so this is my review of Matched by Condie. And if you don't know, basically this book is Cassia always had this high faith in the society who basically chooses anything from your work position to who you choose to live your life out with and when you die. And Cassia fully believes in them when the face of her best friend shows up as being her true match, but then starts to question things when, for an instant, another face appears on that screen before the screen fades to black, and now she is faced with the impossible choice of choosing between Xander and Kai. And this was a very interesting book that I originally decided to start reading because of the fact that I am a huge fan of sort of any kind of dystopian book, and it's always been a high recommendation on my page sort of because of that. And I really love that this whole book sort of revolves around the ideas of love and sort of finding your place in the world. And I really, really like that for the most part, for the first chunk of this book, it didn't just revolve around Cassia going like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do, because of her trying to choose between these two boys and her just constantly going back and forth between that. I have to say, I guess overall the book did do a good job at doing that, but especially in that first chunk, because in the second chunk it did kind of get into that sort of what do I do sort of mentality, and it did get a little long because of that, but it still did a good job sort of overall of not having that being like the main plot, but her sort of like getting to know each boy individually and also finding sort of how they connect together and why they both were picked sort of as her perfect match. And the book also did a really good job at sort of setting up the rules of the society from the very beginning and really sticking to them throughout the whole book. And I have seen a lot of books comparing this one to basically being like a straight up copy of The Giver. And I can see where some of those ideas are coming from because there is a lot of similarities. But a lot of those similarities sort of end at just like the basic ideas of every dystopian book and how basically they're all similar and basically branch from the same ideas. So I can see where people come from comparing it to The Giver, but I can also see how they are very, very separate. And I really like that this book did a good job at like comparing lines from this one poem that Cassia found and like relating a lot of those lines to things that are happening in Cassia's life at the moment, especially the one line that's sort of riddled throughout this whole book, which is the do not go gentle into that good night. And I really like that because that's one of my favorite lines from any poem ever. And I did feel that there were some moments that really kind of dragged on throughout all the chapters, like all the chapters that were dedicated to Kai and Cassia hiking. And I can understand from a point why that is, because of the fact that that was really their moments to sort of bond and get to know each other without the society watching them. And from that point I understand it, but still they got really, really long with just how many chapters were dedicated to just that. And I really did like how they managed to loop sort of a lot of events back together and how the society managed to sort of fit into everything. But I do wish that this book would have had a more sort of complete ending instead of making it so you basically have to read the second book to understand everything. Where I wish they would have done it where like they had somewhat of an ending where they left some things unknown, so if you wanted to go and read the second book you could read it, but also if you just wanted to end at this book you could, but they didn't really do that, and that kind of bugged me. And I did really like that this book sort of had subtle hints throughout all of it that things are going wrong and that things seem sort of off and odd, but then also like finally revealing that curtain of what actually is truly going on in society and everything like that. And just overall, this was a really, really great book. So yeah, that's my review of Matched. And if you are interested and you haven't actually read the book yet, you can click right here, and I have a whole playlist of me reading the book. So you can go ahead and click right there and if you want to listen to me reading the book. So yeah, that's, like I said, my review on Matched by Condie.